about how fast things move, right? And how particles move, or how cars move, and so on. We say speed. And so, and oftentimes when we talk about how fast things moving, we don't really think in terms of direction. So we use the word speed. The speed comes from the information is contained in the concept of velocity. Velocity contains information of both speed and direction. Now, for the sake of simplicity in our course, we only think of velocity in two different directions, positive and negative. Right? Now, in actualities, velocity goes all over the place. Right? But for the sake of argument, or for the sake of simplicity for this course, velocity in this course only has a positive direction and a negative direction. Positive and negative. So here we have a positive velocity and a negative velocity. Right? Now, regardless whether velocity is positive or negative, speed is always the positive magnitude of the velocity. Right? So for example, if a particle is moving at 10 meters per second, positive 10 meters per second, the speed is positive 10 meters per second. Right? If the particle is moving at negative 10 meters per second, which is going in that direction, 10 meters per second, speed is still the positive, it's the positive value or the absolute value of the speed, which is still a positive 10 meters per second. Make sense? Got it? Okay. Now, then this becomes tricky, right? So here, acceleration is positive. Acceleration is positive means that it will the velocity will increase, right? Velocity will increase. So if velocity goes from 10 meters per second to 20 meters per second, we say, oh, this particle is accelerating. And when we say it is accelerating, that means acceleration is positive, right? So we say velocity is increasing. Well, so does the speed, right? Because if we're talking about from 10 meters per second to 30 meters per second, speed is also 10 meters per second to 30 meters per second, right? So the speed is also increasing. So far, so good? Mm-hmm. Okay. If the acceleration is negative, meaning that something is going to slow down, right? So for example, if velocity is starting out at say a particle moving at 30 meters per second, and it's dropped down to 10 meters per second. So from 30 meters per second to 10 meters per second, it slows down, right? Mm-hmm. And when it slows down, the acceleration is negative, right? Mm-hmm. And so every time when we say negative acceleration, that means velocity is going to slow down. So velocity is decreasing. Right? Now, if velocity is going from 30 to 10, speed is also going to go from 30 to 10, right? Because the speed is taking on the positive value, and this is already positive, but naturally this is going to hold the same value. So from 30 to 10, acceleration is negative, making this go from 30 to 10. Right? Mm-hmm. So speed is also decreasing. Make sense? So over here, if velocity is positive, speed is naturally positive. Acceleration is going to dictate the increasing and decreasing of the speed and velocity. Right? If it's positive, increasing. If it's negative, decreasing. Makes a whole lot of sense. Right? We often think in this way. This is what we often think. This is where it gets tricky. Okay? This is where it gets tricky. Let's think about this. Velocity is negative. So let's take, for example, you start with let's take an example. Let's use the example, velocity is equal to negative 10. Negative 10 meters per second. Okay? Hypothetically. And acceleration, we say acceleration is going to be 10 meters per second. Okay? Positive, right? Positive acceleration. Okay? Now, if velocity is equal to negative 10 meters per second, right? Negative 10 meters per second, And every second is gonna increase by 10 meters per second because the acceleration is 10 meters per second squared. Next second, velocity will become what? So you go from velocity 1 to velocity 2, it will become what? 0 meters per second, isn't it? Right? Because it's increasing, right? Negative 10 is smaller than 0, right? So negative 10 is going to increase extra 10 to get to 0, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
So velocity is increasing. Okay? Velocity is increasing. Okay, this is for the positive. Now, let's take a look at this. What's the speed? What's the speed when velocity is equal to negative 10? 10. So the first speed is 10. Now velocity increases 10 meters per second every second. So it'll go from negative 10 to 0. Now what do you think speed is going to go to? The next speed is 0. So the speed goes from 10 to 0. Is speed increasing or speed decreasing? Yeah, speed is decreasing. Does that make sense? Do you see it? Velocity increases but speed decreases if velocity starts out as a negative velocity for the positive acceleration. I'll give you a very simple illustration using this example. Go from negative 10 to 0, that is increasing. But negative 10 doesn't stay negative 10 when it goes to speed. Speed takes on the positive of the negative value. Okay. So instead of thinking negative 10 to 0, which is this velocity, speed has to become 10 to 0 now. 10 to 0 is an obvious drop, right? Or decrease of speed. Now let's take a look at this. For this one, that's for so this is the acceleration of the positive case. Velocity is equal to negative 10 meters per second again. So now acceleration, I'm going to say it's negative, right? Negative acceleration, so negative 10 meters per second squared. Okay, let's try that. That means every second it's going to drop 10 meters per second. Yeah? So velocity, if I start out with a velocity equal to negative 10 meters per second, and then I'm decreasing 10 meters per second every second, what will be the next second? What will be the velocity for the next second? Negative 20, that's right, negative 20 meters per second. So velocity obviously is decreasing. Notice velocity goes directly with the sign of acceleration. Right? Acceleration is negative 10, velocity goes from negative 10 to negative 20. Velocity is decreasing. Makes sense? Now with the same velocity, speed is what? Speed is 10, and speed for the next second is 20. Now wait a minute. Speed is going from 10 meters per second to 20 meters per second, so speed is actually increasing. Does that make sense? We intuitively think in terms of speed. But in mathematics and in physics, we think in terms of velocity. Problems in our AP exam is going to ask you to be able to make this kind of differentiation. And it is going to give you scenarios like this, and most likely they're going to give you stuff like this where you may tend to make mistakes. Because we tend to think in this way, rather than this way. Yeah.
So what does it mean to have negative 10 velocity? Are you like going backwards?
Yeah, going downward. I'm going negative 10 velocity, negative 10 meters per second, and then negative 20 velocity. Because think of it this way. Think of it this way. If I start out with this direction and I'm going at negative 10, right? So I'm going very fast at 20 meters per second, and the next second I'm going at 10 meters per second, and the next moment I stop. And the negative acceleration continues to force me. Imagine this way: someone is pushing me back. I'm trying to go that way. Right? I'm trying to go that way as fast as I can, right? 30 meters per second, and there's a force of slowing me down with a negative 10 meters per second. right? I'm 30 meters per second going that way, and I encounter resistance. 30 meters per second, 20 meters per second, I'm slowing down, 10 meters per second, and then 0. Well, what's next? Negative 10 meters per second, negative 20 meters per second, negative 30 meters per second. You see what I'm saying? So velocity, as soon as you come to a stop and go full reverse, you are still decreasing in your velocity. But in actuality, the magnitude of how quickly you're moving in that direction is increasing. And now we call it the speed.
Okay.
Got it?
So going
Any other questions on this? Very important to make a differentiation. Right? Good.